What's up, everybody? This is DJ Lionhead, and this is the Support Cha Boi Podcast. Man, it has been a crazy day. I'm glad I made this though. I got a story to tell y'all, but before I get to that, let me talk to you about this. I guess you call him Arducer, artist / producer, Beatmaker, songwriter, production. I would say production in so many sounds that we need to hear about, and we're gonna hear about him tonight. He is Sacramento's one and only motherfucking M.E.R.K, baby. Yeah, M.E.R.K, man. So, thank you, people. Thank you. So, M.E.R.K, I think I asked you before, but for those who don't know, how did you come up with the name M.E.R.K, and what does it stand for? Because there's periods in between each letter.
Right. So, my original name was Nonsense, CENTS, because I don't take no small change. I was going by that when I was in a crew called Trinity here in Sacramento. So a lot of the old heads remember what Trinity is, things we've done. After the group, I expanded and I found some growth in myself. And when I was younger, OG used to call me M.E.R.K all the time, for negative reasons. And so I took a negative and made it a positive and created an acronym, which is Mentally Elevated Rhythms of Kinfolk, which is my government. Because I'm past and I'm beyond the bullshit that I was on when I was younger. And so I just wanted to express my elevation with it. And that's how M.E.R.K came about.
That's dope. So your name actually has a fucking meaning.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of people say, man, my name is Rock D. Ain't your name Larry?
Right.
Yeah. I always like the letter D, so I'm Rock D. You know, so
yeah,
but
exactly.
You got something that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah.
That's dope.
Everything I do has to make sense for me.
Mm-hmm.
And so, again, like I said, once I saw the light in something that was considered to be dark, because I mean we all know what a M.E.R.K is, you know?
Right?
I found light in that and showed my elevation. Now the one that's in my name actually represents the middle finger for me, because at the end of the day, I'm enlightened, but at the same time, is fuck you too. You know what I'm saying? Hence M.E.R.K middle fingers.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. So, for the people out there, also, I want to apologize for being late. You guys probably wouldn't know because it's just going on the sites and my live. I thought I was going to go live, but I didn't. But I do want to apologize to M.E.R.K for showing up late, doing the appointment we made. So I want to admit something to you about why I became late, and I came to a big realization after.
Oh, damn.
Okay, so before the podcast, I got a hold of some delicious OG Kush.
Ooh.
I just got it, it's fresh, right?
Yeah.
Already grounded down and all like I'm a weird person. I like shit.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so I was faded. So after I was faded, my hands up when you mess with indica, I want some sweets.
Yeah.
Big problem for me, especially in a person like this, like myself, over 40.
Right.
You know what I mean? Well, I'm actually leaving the mid 40s. Anyways, so the sweets got to me. So I saw my daughter brought some sweets home. Brought some sweets home. So I started fucking with it. It was good. It was blueberry little cake thing. I was fucking that shit up. Then I told myself, stop. You know what I mean? You just lay off these sweets. You know what I mean? I'm over acting like a little kid. I'm eating sweets in the middle of the day, watching next Friday. You know what I mean? So what I did was my wife had bought fruit, so I cut up a bunch of apples. Trying to change my,
right,
with my sweets from unnatural sweets to natural sweets. I'm trying to make a change. So I got the apples, but I was young, I was plum. There was plums, and there was dried plums in there. I'm tearing them plums up.
I already know where this is going.
Man, and then I'm like, oh shit, I need to start packing up. Start packing up all the equipment. And then
stomach dropped on and bubble guts.
Ooh, man. Yeah, man. So but this lets you know that even though I'm going through it right now, having run, this lets you know how much I love podcasts.
Right.
That I would stick it out with the runs right now. I can get up and drop this goddamn mic.
Hey, sometimes you got to get through a shitty situation.
Yeah, only because the building has a bathroom.
Exactly.
I was not. But the point is, I was not gonna cancel on you.
Oh man, I appreciate that.
You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate it. Hey,
most niggas would have said, "Hey, reschedule, bro. You got the runs and shit."
Yeah. Hey, I'm all about health as well, dog. You know what I'm saying? You got to take care of yourself before you take care of anybody else. So it would have been understandable if you canceled it, man. Like I said, me and the homie Ransom are down with you on your show, dog. So either way it goes, man. We had to reschedule. We reschedule and make that one live too. That's just what it is.
My stomach is saying, "See, I told you should be canceled." I want hard for podcast who wants me to push through.
There you go.
You know what I mean? So that's how you know I'm really about this shit.
That's what it is, and we'll push it through, man.
Yeah, exactly. I'm hoping my shit don't push through.
Word.
Right.
Word.
But let's go ahead and start this podcast. Okay. Right. So I like to start with a game of which, of course, you know, you pretty much heard of it last time. You know what? Let's not even go into that one. Because I did kind of want to get into your you being an artist first.
Mm-hmm.
Did you start off first being an artist before you start working on making them beat?
Yes. And that was all about Ransom.
Mm-hmm.
Ransom pushed me into my first battle, and I won that battle. And I just started writing from that point on and on and on. I learned a lot actually from Ransom. He was the first one of us that started writing and doing his thing, and so I'm following Big Bro. So everything he did, I did. Then I met my other brother and my mentor, DJ M.E.R.C, also known as M.E.R.K. And he was the beatmaker of my crew at that point. But I'm always with him, so I'm always helping him find certain samples and things like that. And this was back, like Ransom would say, I'm dating myself, but this was back in 86, 87, when me and him first linked up. And I wanted to get into production at that time, but he was like, look, you're crazy with these bars.
Mm-hmm.
I would much rather you focus on the bars, because, you know, like with any situation, the more things you do, one of those things is going to suffer. So if I'm doing 3 things at a time, one of those 3 things is going to suffer. And he did not want the bars to suffer. And I agreed with him. You know, I'll focus on the bars. So life moves on later on down the line. I took a break from this whole music thing. He did too. But I always kept writing. But then it gets to a point to where I need beats again. Right? And me and him, you know, we linked, and we always stayed kind of linked together, but at the same time, you know, he wasn't really doing the beats like that at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And so he gave me my first program, which was Reason. Reason 5. He gave me that and just told me, go ahead and, you know, work on that, see what you can come up with. And I was scared of it at first, because it wasn't what I was used to. Like the things that me and him, we always had hardware. So, you know, we had the MPCs, we had the M.E.R.K by MU. Loved that. That was like the first thing we had that had unlimited sample. So I was afraid of the computer software and making beats that way. But I got good at it. To a point to where a lot of my early production, people didn't realize that I was using Reason. They thought I was on an MPC the way I was putting stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, I moved on to Ableton Live 9. And then from there, I moved on to Machine, which kind of gave me the familiarity of using hardware, but then I still had the software. So learning that. And I've been on Machine since in the MK1. Upgraded with them every time they upgraded.
Wow. Okay. So, surprisingly, you probably might think that that I wouldn't compliment you on your songwriting. There is a song by you and Ransom called "Yes Lord."
Yeah.
I used your verse. No offense to Ransom, I just think yours was hard.
You know what?
That's just a personal feeling. And you know why I feel it? I like it so much. As a producer myself, I love when another producer got bars like a motherfucker. Because we don't get that name. You know what I mean? We don't get that. We get known for making beats. Whenever we start doing songs and start rapping, you know what I mean? It's like, well, you might put that nigga last. You know, he ain't a rapper.
Right.
We rap too, bro.
Right.
You know what I mean? So,
well, you know, with me, like I said, I'm an MC first.
Mm-hmm.
I was an MC before I was a producer.
Same here.
The production comes from me being an MC.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm arranging and putting beats together, I put beats together as like, how would I hear a rapper on it, or how would I hear myself on it?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm an MC first, and I'm always going to be an MC first, just because that's where I feel like I'm the most creative.
Right.
With me, my pen tells things that I might not necessarily say out in public right off top. Right. So my pen talks for me, and it says all the stuff that I have on my mind that I wouldn't normally tell or say to someone, you know, on a regular basis off of that. But when you hear my music, I really feel like you get the real me in my music, because I have no inhibitions. M.E.R.K is a nut. So M.E.R.K is going to say whatever he feel like saying, what he wants to do. Now, the interesting thing about that song is, you know, Ransom is highly spiritual, very spiritual, right? Always has been. Not saying that we're perfect in any kind of way, but he's always had an understanding of God, who God is. And the thing that's interesting, if you notice about that verse, we come from two different standpoints. Ransom is a Christian. I'm a Muslim, right? So we come from two different standpoints, but at the end of the day, it's all about God. And so that's what makes that song interesting to me, how you can have a Christian and a Muslim come together, speak about God in a way that we speak about God, and it fit.
Yeah.
It just automatically
really
fit. You know, it just matched. And I thank Ransom for that, because I never thought that I would be on a track like that, right? Until he asked me to do it. And Ransom has always been one that's challenged me when it comes to my rhyme skills and my performances. He's always challenged me to do things that I might be uncomfortable with and to make it me. We did a song with our other brother and mentor, Bumpin' T, and it was called Makes Me Go. And when Ransom hit me, this was like on a Monday. And he's like, yeah, man, really want you to be on this track, dog. Sends me the beat, and I'm listening to the beat like, this is something that's kind of different for me. It was that double time rhyme kind of style a little bit, and it was like, I don't know. He was like, man, I think you could kill this. I'm like, all right, well, how much time I got to write this? He's like, we need to have the verse down by Wednesday. We're going into the studio on Wednesday. Normally with me, I like to pen it. I like to be able to practice it a little bit. So I pretty much almost know it by heart before I go into the studio. Not like wasting time in the studio, right? But in this case, I didn't have that. So we go in on that Wednesday. I wrote it like that Monday night. I had Tuesday to kind of practice it a little bit. And this is me going to a regular 9 to 5 too, as well. I'm trying to get this done. Right. And then Wednesday we knock it out. And after we knocked it out, like I said, that was probably the most nervous I ever felt in the studio in front of the mic, because I didn't know how this was going to come, right? But after I knocked it out, I come out and I see their faces. They're like, yeah, so we doing it. All right. And then I started listening to the playback, and I'm like, all right, yeah, I felt that. So ever since then, anytime Ransom has challenged me, I need you to do this style, I need you to do that. I've always been up for the occasion for it because I know he's the one that taught me that I could do this.
Right.
Like I said, I followed Big Brother this whole time.
See, I'm telling you guys, this song we talking about is called Yes Lord. What album is that on?
That is on his, I want to say his last, no, I don't think it's his last album. I think it's the album before that. The last album was All My Life. No, it might be on All My Life. I think it is.
All My Life. Well, I'm going to check it out. I know what it is, but you guys might need to check it out. Again, the song is called Yes Lord on all streaming platforms. It's with Ransom and M.E.R.K. Great song. Like he said, he was a MC first. I was too before I started making.
Yeah.
But I just be feeling that sometimes. Some rappers feel that you mess with beats so long, you kind of slacking up on your rap. So when they hear you, they be expecting you to be. It's like they got a mental thing that you probably slack.
Right.
He's focused on beats more than he does writing songs.
Here's the thing. That's just what you see now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what they say? You know, when I go dark or I go quiet, that's when you start paying attention. Because I'm working. I got so many rhyme books. It's crazy. I continue to write all day, every day. That's just what I do. My biggest thing is that I'm my worst critic. So I judge myself harsher than anybody. So I've got rhymes that I can spit and other people love it. Oh, that's the illest. Yeah. But in my mind, I'm like, what? You know, because I'm always competing. Ransom got a song that he did, and in the line, there's a line that I compete with all the time because it's just like the illest thing I ever heard. And he mentions llamas eating lions. Right? And so I was loaded when he spit that verse for me. And it made me kind of start overthinking it. Like I'm really visualizing a llama eating a lion and how ill that would be if I'm watching National Geographic and you see the lion getting ready for the hunt. And then all of a sudden the llama turns around on him like, nah, not today, buddy. And then now the llama got the blood over his mouth and he's munching on the lion.
Oh, man.
Like that was the illest thing to me. So I compete with that line with every rhyme that I write. I also compete with the last rhyme that I spit. My next rhyme got to be better than that last rhyme. And that's just me as an artist, how I get down. It's the Gemini in me. Right brain is always battling the left brain. Right? So that's how it is. So it's not like when I get quiet, that's when you understand that I'm penning the most at that point.
Yeah.
Now, when I go into beat mode and I'm creating beat-wise, that's just a whole nother form of creation for me. It's a puzzle. I didn't like puzzles as a kid. I started getting older. I started realizing.
My bad.
No thing. I started realizing that puzzles really, it helps to control the mind. It helps to ease the mind.
It does.
You know, I'm an emotional writer and I'm an emotional beat maker. So whatever feeling I have when I'm creating beats, you're going to hear that in the beats that I make. You're going to hear that in the rhymes that I write as well. Whatever I'm feeling at that point. It's all based on emotion.
Right.
So that's where I go with it. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, if you're hearing the beats mainly, understand that what I'm writing at this point, when you hear that, it's going to blow your mind. I got 50 million styles. So I got to make sure that my style is right, that I'm here, I'm there. During the time when I told you I took a break, one thing I started noticing, this is back when people start selling their CDs on the corner. Bro, I got this, man. You like rap? Yeah, I like rap. Man, look, I got the hottest thing out right now, man. $5, man. I guarantee you it's going to be the best $5 you spent. I've always been one, especially when it comes to my local artists. I'm a supporter, right? So I'll buy the CD, I'll go home, or I'll get in the car and put it in, and this shit is garbage. It's garbage. So I got to the point to where I kept running into like the same cats. Different CD now, but the same cats. And I started battling these cats to a point. It's like, all right, I'll tell you what. If you could beat me in a battle, I'll fight you. Because I know they're not expecting me to come the way I'm going to come.
Right.
It was like, all right, I'm cool. Whoop de whoop. I'm in my Lolos. I got my Fofo and the 4 O's. And okay, I that was tight. What you think about this? And then I start hitting them with the boom, bam, bam, boom, 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 bam. And they're looking at me like, well, one dude, his boy looked at him and said, yeah, just go and give him the sheet. Just give it to him. Because you're not messing with this guy. And it wasn't my idea to like really just hurt this dude's feelings and then like, or break him down like that. It was more so just to kind of teach him how to put more into your craft. You know what I'm saying? Put your pen down, really think about what you're writing about, really think about the style you're writing in. You know what I'm saying? Give the people quality. That's what they want to hear. They don't want to hear just some quick, I threw this together over the beat because the beat was nice, but I ain't saying nothing. At the end of the day, people still want to hear something. That's why the Kendrick Lamar's be blowing up the way they blowing up, because he's saying something. That's why J. Cole is doing what he's doing, because he's saying something. You know what I'm saying? And he's saying it in a creative way, and it's just nice. So do that. Put into your craft. And that's what I do. I put into my craft every day. I be at work penning on the phone. Hi, Mr. Johnson, this is Kendrick with Referral Exchange. How are you? You know, while I'm doing my customer service thing, you know what I'm saying? I'm penning the illest, you know, I break niggas in half like miracle midgets when I drop the physics of scientific style static. I'm doing that shit, you know, even while I'm at work. So I go in because I want to make sure I'm always going to be prepared. You know what I'm saying? I'm always going to give you what I like. And if you like it, perfect, cool. Right. If you don't, I don't.
Right. I like it. Okay, let me ask you this. Well, let's do this first. I want to ask this question. This is going to be the segment I have, which is called What's Your Preference? But I want to use this one, which is the Beatmaker Producer Edition. Only a couple of them. That's so many. So first question I want to ask you, M.E.R.K. as a beat maker, when you start, what comes first? What's your say? What's your preference to start with? Drums or melody?
I don't really have a first thing I do, period. Just part of my day, which is probably why I'm talking too much now, is I'm a big fan of the herbage. You know what I'm saying? First thing I do is I spark up. I throw on some records and just listen. Right? Sometimes it's a situation where I might have a drum pattern that's going in my head and I feel like I got to get that out. And so sometimes I might build the drums first. Other times, I might hear something in them records that I'm listening to. And, let me grab that real quick and then grab that chop it up real quick, and then build the drums around that chop. So I don't really have a preference. It's whatever the mood for the day is for me. So it really doesn't matter. Sometimes it's this, sometimes it's that.
Okay. As a beat maker, M.E.R.K. Of course, first question I'm going to ask you is, first of all, have you ever recorded anyone in, you know, as far as making the beats, you ever recorded anyone?
As far as taking their vocals, like, no, I don't do that.
Okay.
I make the beat, I'll arrange the beat to their preference, and then whatever studio they go to, that's where they'll drop their vocals.
Gotcha. Okay. This one still makes good sense to you. M.E.R.K., when you are making your beat, when it comes to mixing it and mastering your song, would you rather do it on your own or use AI apps?
I'd rather do it on my own as opposed to AI. But I'm not opposed to AI apps. I've seen some pretty dope things. Yeah. I just don't personally trust AI like that yet. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's part of my high mind. But, you know, Cyberdyne was an AR app. So I'm not trying to see, you know, Terminator yet. But there are certain things that I'm still old school with. You know what I'm saying? I would prefer, if I had my choice, analog all day over digital. I feel like analog has a particular warmth to it that I enjoy, but now everything is digital. But I feel like you can't get the same feel digitally. You can come close to it. And I think that's what makes it survive to me. You can come close to it, but at the same time, analog all day, every day. So I would much rather, I like being in the studio. I like the presence of being in the studio. when you have you and some other creatives that are in there. And, you know, like with me and Ransom, one of the things that's dope about me and Ransom is when we get into the booth, things become completely different once you're in front of that microphone as opposed to before you got into that in front of that microphone. So it's just always a fun, creative time when we're building and we're building together like that. Mm-hmm. So I like to build with other artists in that manner. The beat, might come with something different, but at the same time, your rhymes and what you're doing is going to present something different when you're in that studio, in that booth. You start spitting your thing. It's an energy that gets shared between everybody. And it's like, all right, because we're all competitors. If you're an MC, you're a competitor, right? So if I hear my man's going and my man's do something, it's like, oh, then I'm like, I'm not going to fall behind on this, right? Like, I got to keep up, or I got to do whatever I got to do. And it's just a certain amount of energy that we have when we're in there together. And I like that energy. So
you gotta go analog all day.
Yeah, if I had it my way, definitely it would be analog all day.
Okay, so one more last question. But we kind of already got the answer. My question was MPC or the board.
As far as building, I would go MPC just because I like the feeling. You know, like I said, when I started producing myself, I started off with software. Right. But I've always had passion for hardware. It's just touching and get your hands on it, and that energy flowing through you through that hardware, right? Because it's not about the equipment that you're using; it's about the person behind the equipment, right? So, but I just personally like to touch the pads. You know what I'm saying? I like to get in and fine tune and tweak, you know, my drums the way I want my drums to sound, like that. So, and the boards themselves, I mean, they're gonna come in, you know what I'm saying? But I like to get as much pre-mixed as possible before I go into the studio. Like I said, I don't like wasting time.
Right.
Shit costs money.
It does.
You know what I'm saying? So I want to make sure that I have everything as complete as possible. And then whatever the engineer is, which my engineer is Derek D, one of the dopest engineers here in the town. I'll let him put his final magic on it, and we just kind of meet each other in the middle there, right? And it just comes out dope that way. Like, I love what he does, especially to my music. So,
So the last question I have is this is pertaining to if or if not you do this. Do you sell your beats?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, here's the last question. M.E.R.K. 1, would you rather, I would not say would you rather, what's your preference? Sell your next beat that is fire at the right price right now you have in mind. Whatever beat you got going right now, you try to sell it. Would you rather get full price, that money given to you right now, or use it and know the next record you make makes the exact same amount, put it out, and the royalties come in for the exact same amount?
It depends on the situation. You know, if I'm working with a dope MC or artist, period, because I don't just make beats for rappers. I make beats for R&B singers and stuff like that too. It depends on the artist. If the artist is dope, you know, there could be times where I might, you know, cut the price of the beat and then just go for whatever I'm gonna get on the back end. Sometimes I might just go with the back end, depending on if I know you.
No, I'm saying, my bad for cutting you off. I'm saying, would you take the beat and rap yourself? And make just the same amount of money as you would have if you had sold the beat? So whatever price you sell the beat, you make the exact same money in royalties from you putting it out there as a single.
You know, I struggle with that a lot. Ransom gets on me for that a lot. I got so much in the chamber, it's crazy. And it's because of that same kind of scenario. I'm going to keep this one for myself. This is going to be that shit. I'm going to blow this up. And then I sit on it. And I might not
I do
never.
the same.
You know what I'm saying? I might not ever get to the part. I haven't pinned the right rhyme for that beat, right? So it just winds up sitting until I find the right scenario. It all depends, man.
Are you saying you would rather take the money for whatever you sell the beat for, or you use that beat, write a dope ass song on your own, put it out, and make the exact same amount of money if you were sold?
It's not going to matter for me. Like I said, the money is always going to be good, but at the same time, I don't really do this for nobody but myself. So it's a flip of a coin kind of answer for that. You know what I'm saying? I could keep it for myself,
make the exact same amount of money.
Yep. Or I could,
sell it.
It all depends on the situation, the right artist. You know what I'm saying? And my mind frame at the time. You know what I'm saying? You might catch me on the day where I smoke too much. You know what? Let you have it. You're right. You know what I'm saying? You never know with me. Everything that I do when it comes to music is therapy. It's me penning or whether it's me putting. It's all therapy. So at the end of the day, like I said, it just all depends on the situation and where my mind frame is at that point.
Okay. Can you tell us a time you were on stage, you were rapping, and you saw the most funniest shit you ever seen on stage or funny shit that happened to you? Give us one that for the ages.
There is a Sacramento MC that was pretty popular. Positive, mainly negative. And there was a time we were actually looking to do a song. And we were rocking a show at the Blue Lamp. And this dude is in the audience. Now, mind you, this didn't get funny to me until later, right? But the look that was on this dude's face when me and Ransom is rocking, like he's into it, like, oh, that's just he's got the nasty face on. Then some shit comes down on a negative with this rap. And I remember telling Ransom, glad we didn't rock with this dude, because the way he was looking at us at that show, he was looking at us like, I'm stealing that. I'm stealing this. Ooh, we could have been that next one. You know what I'm saying? So that was funny to me. I think the funniest thing that I've ever done, well, it wasn't really funny to the person it happened to, but in hindsight, it's funny to me now. I don't drink before I rock, right? I'll smoke all day, but I don't drink before I rock. And this was a testament to me not drinking. Had a couple drinks one time before a show, and I'm rocking a show down in Santa Cruz. And I'm rocking the show. And while I'm up on stage, it's hot, lights is on you. And I'm feeling like I'm gonna throw up. Now, mind you, in the audience, there's a young lady and her caregiver. The young lady's in a wheelchair. She is, for whatever reason, digging me. So no matter where I go on stage, I'm here. She's following me. And I'm really trying to get away from her because I'm feeling like, one, I gotta hurry up and get through this set because I'm about to throw up. And I would hate to throw up on this young lady in the wheelchair. She keeps following me and keeps following me.
Hell nah.
So I had to push through. I actually wound up cutting my set short by a song because I know that this is not going to happen. All right. Thank you, Santa Cruz. Love you. M.E.R.K, I'm out. Boom, drop the mic. I'm running off. But before I could get away, young girl is there. And my gut said no. And went all over the place. I felt bad. But now when I think about it, sometimes I get tickled and shit. Like, damn, I actually got it. Damn. There wasn't a whole bunch of one which she could have got, but she got a little bit. It's like,
one of the dangers of being front row.
Exactly. So I don't drink no more. I'll never take a drink before a show. I'll smoke all day. I'll take a drink afterwards. I'm safe after that.
Yeah. I love the fact that you can do both things, and the fact that you smoke. That's dope too.
It's been a part of my life, my whole life.
Really?
Yeah. My parents, started with them. It's still a point to where they smoke so much. you would be surprised if none of their kids smoke.
Damn.
You know, but we're responsible parents. You know what I'm saying? I can say I started officially. I was about 14 or 15.
Damn.
I had a homie. He was old. All of my friends are older than me, by the way. I'm like the youngest one out of all of my homies, right?
Damn.
And so I had a report that I had to do in school, American history. And American history was boring as shit. Like, I hated reading it, right? And the homie was like, I got something that'll fix that, right? Take a couple hits of this, I guarantee you it's going to turn into the best novel you ever had. No, man, my parents is OGs. They're going to know that I smoke, you know? Trust me, dog, they ain't going to know. They smoke, they just think it's them. And at the time, like I said, I'm young, so all the shit he's saying is making sense to me. All right, you're right. So I did, boom. And I got so loaded that it was just like, I almost got paranoid, almost didn't want to go in the house. When I did go in the house, I ran right past my parents, went straight up to my room. And when I started reading that American history, that shit did turn into a novel to me. And it was like, damn, George Washington did what? Oh, he didn't have false teeth like that? Oh, shit. Like, I got so interested into that shit. And I was hooked on it ever since. To be honest with you, I attribute me graduating high school to the weed. It helped.
14, 15. Let me ask you a question when it comes to when you smoke. Have you ever been, how was your personality when you going through like a drought? Let's say you just ran out and all the places you can't get to dispensary because your car is messed up. Ransom can't help you. You just shit out of luck. How do you manage through the day?
I just manage. Like,
but I'm curious to ask you. I wonder how everybody else around the house feel when they know you ain't got shit, ain't getting nothing.
It's like somebody that wakes up in the morning and drink coffee. You don't want to fuck with them until they had a cup, right?
That makes sense.
So I think they, like, as much as I try not to get super crazy, I think they know the kind of, he ain't got nothing. Let me just let him.
Yeah,
let him be a little bit.
Once he get his. And
I preoccupy my mind. Like, for me, the whole reason why I smoke is because I feel like I generally have ADHD. And so it helps to slow my brain down a little bit and I can focus more. Instead of trying to focus on 5 or 6 different things at the same time and get nowhere. Right? So when I don't, you know, I'm still able to function. I'm still able to get, you know, some work done. It just might take me a little bit more time.
Yeah.
You know. And of course, yeah, I'm a little bit short. I'm cool, but I'm all the Gemini more so when I don't have it. You know, I'm a quick flash in the bad boy. You didn't make my peanut butter and jelly sandwich right. You know, I'm that dude without it sometimes. But like I said, the people that know me, they know kind of just.
God, this nigga said peanut butter and jelly sandwich?
Well, you know, I mean, it could be something just as small as that.
I'm all about peanut butter and jelly sandwich. My wife will tell you.
I remember I got into it with a cat one time and I didn't have it. And this is when I first realized that this is where I'm at with it. When I don't. He was breathing funny. It was the whole way he was breathing. And it was hard for no reason to me. And it probably wasn't, but I could hear it. And the Darth Vader shit going on. And it was like, oh, fuck no, man. And I literally told him, if you don't stop breathing, I swear to God. And he was looking at me crazy like, what the fuck are you talking about? But in my mind, I'm like, nah. And that's when I realized, oh, okay, chill. Calm down. So it makes me more of a personal person. Keeps a smile on my face.
Yeah, I can see that. Especially if it's starting at that age, it can start affecting the mood when you ain't got it.
Yeah. When I went off to college, it wasn't accessible to me readily. And then what was garbage. Right? So it was like, either way it goes, yeah, I got it, but this is some harsh, nasty ass shit. I don't want it. So I had to deal then, you know. My son's mom didn't smoke. And she expected me not to smoke. And she was half-ass crazy believing that I wasn't going to. You know, but I would, you know, to respect her, you know, I would wait until she goes to sleep. As soon as I hear that right snore, I would sneak up and go to the garage to my car.
Same here.
Blow in my car and then go to bed after that. So, like I said, you find ways.
You do.
Know what I'm saying?
You do.
And I'm not that big of a drinker, so, you know.
I slowed down tremendously. I slowed down as far as drinking. Big time. When I was doing shows, I was drinking when I was after shows because I wasn't smoking weed then.
Right.
Now, as soon as I start smoking, I have alcohol just sitting there.
You know what I mean? I'm a weird drunk. You know, like, I have to drink brown liquor as opposed to clear. For whatever reason, brown liquor is more common. Puts me right where I need to be. But I still need to make sure I don't know.
Right.
Clear liquor, you never know who the fuck you gonna get with you. Right? I am bipolar than a mug. I feel like clear, like vodka, gin, and stuff like that. You know, anything clear, I'll become bipolar. You're gonna get every aspect of it. One minute I'm gonna be happy, next minute I'm gonna be kind of pissed off. Then I might get sad. Then I might, I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? Because you never know what's gonna happen with me.
Does it hit you harder when you drink the clear with like the fruity shit in there? Sometimes they be making drinks and shit.
Yeah,
Or you like it straight up?
I'm not big on sweet drinks. There's a couple that I might mess with here or there, but it's not my favorite. I'm a straight up kind of. Give me my brown liquor. Don't put no ice in it. Straight, no water. Straight, no chaser. I'm good. Boom. We hit that. I'm good. Clear liquor is actually the liquor that I get sick off of the most too. If I drink it, the next day I'm hungover. I'm throwing up like a bad boy. I don't really do that with brown.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get to some more of these. I love to go ahead and break it down with you because I can talk so much about music and stuff with you, man. It's dope. So thank you for definitely being here. But as far as your music, do you have any music coming out or out right now that we can check out?
Like I said, me and Ransom just did a remix for a song he's got. He's getting ready. Actually, it comes out on the 15th. His song. It's called Stay Out the Way, Run Up a Bag.
Make sure I check that out.
Right. So that song comes
Run
out on the 15th. Everywhere. 15th? Yeah, on the 15th.
Okay.
So that's going to be everywhere. That music is sold. So you'll be able to find it.
Make sure you go ahead and post it on Instagram and TikTok. You know the fuck I'll share.
Oh yeah. He's been posting. He's got like a little commercial video and everything. So he's been posting. And then I did the remix version for that song. I didn't produce it. I dropped bars on that. So I've got that. And then my next project, which I'm calling Just As, because I'm just as dope, if not iller than your favorite MC. I'm just as dope, if not iller than your favorite producer. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's Just As. I'm working on that now. I don't have a release date for it because I'm just in the beginning process of putting it together. But like I said, if you know me, it's going to be nice. My project that I do have that you can get is called Quality of Hurt. You can find that anywhere as well too. So, iTunes, Apple Music, anywhere. Spotify, yeah. So you can find that if you need something to hold you over until you get to.
What was that name again?
It's called Quality of Hurt.
Quality of Hurt.
Yeah,
by M.E.R.K.
I got the title from one of my favorite authors. Is a guy named Tristan. And he has a book called Quality of Hurt. So. And it kind of touched me. The whole storyline behind it was so real to me that I had to write rhymes about it.
Yeah.
Or rhymes that fit in that mold. So that's kind of where I got the whole title and put that together. It's some of my best work. I think this next project, like I said, is going to outdo that. But that's just me. That's how I work, how I write. I got to do better than the last. So, but this is
okay. So let me ask you this: as a beat maker myself, beatmaker, I want to ask you something. Your opinion on this. So, I've been watching a lot of podcasts, especially the one I watched now. I forgot the name of it, but it's with DJ Payne One, who's a beat maker. He had mentioned that as of right now, it looks like the world is trying to have a shutdown on samples. Meaning that, they'll go for people are trying to push other beats being style beats and trying to remove the sample making Beatmaker out of the picture. When the truth is, hip hop is made from sampled music. It's a part of it. It's like you're just taking an arm off.
Yeah,
that's what they're doing. So, there was a conversation that he had mentioned where he said that there are some of the older cats who made music that we sampled are getting really harsh,
right?
With the letting you sample their music. No one I've heard harsher than Tracy Chapman. I found out other beat makers were saying this too. I looked at you when DJ Payne was saying, did a little history, and he was right. If you sample anything by Tracy Chapman and you actually hit rate, you made it.
Yeah. You know what? Look,
he is not going to approve the sample.
I think when it comes to sampling, for one, I'm never not going to sample. It'll make it harder for you to figure out that I used your sample. But at the end of the day, like I said, the way I sample more for sound than I do like loop synth. Even though sometimes that loop is
hey, I use loops.
You know what I'm saying?
I'll say.
Sometimes it might be worth it if the loop is dope and you can make it, add something to it. But for me, I sample for sound. So the little snippets that I get, you're gonna work hard. You're gonna work your ass off figuring out. Oh, he used mine. You're gonna work for it, but it's not gonna stop me. Like I said, hip hop was created off of rebellion, right?
That's true.
So I'm always gonna be a rebel when it comes to this. I'm never not gonna sample. Everything about what I do, except for like 808s and stuff like that. But my kick is sampled, my snare is sampled, my hi-hat is sampled, and all the other sounds around it are sampled. So, that's what hip hop is. That's where the true vibe of hip hop comes from. I'm never not going to sample. I'm always going to sample. And I'm not taking nothing away from those that, organically make their own music and stuff like that. I do that from time to time myself too. I'm not as good at it as some of these other people.
Right.
But I can take a sample, loop it, throw my own sounds on top of it. You would never know that the sample that I had was even a sample that was underlined in it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's my bass line that's over it. It might be some additional piano keys that I might throw over it. The sample itself is just something kind of hiding in the bottom, just giving it that feel. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. And you got to be careful. Marvin Gaye is one you probably don't want to mess with his catalog either.
Yeah.
Without getting, permission. James Brown was one at one point. James Brown was one of the first ones that I heard that at one point in time, he was not feeling sampling until he realized how much he was sampling. George Clinton being sample friendly. You know what I'm saying? So there are some artists out there that do appreciate it, that do understand that.
That is so cool.
If it wasn't for that sample, nobody would, would know who they were at this point, right? Their mamas and daddies would know, but these youngsters wouldn't. You know what I'm saying?
That is so true. Smokey Robinson's another one. He said, I will be pleased if a Beatmaker was sampled and actually made it with my sample.
Yeah.
He would be pleased.
It brings them that fame again. You know what I'm saying? My mom, and it's funny that I see TikToks on this now. My mom would always tell me what certain samples were for certain rap artists, and I'd be like, "Nah, he came up with that." Nah, baby. So and so created that back in 1959, and this is what that. And that's when I first realized that. So that's what samples are, right? And it made me go back and listen to their catalog. Like, there's certain things from the Jackson 5 that I didn't even know was the Jackson 5 until I started doing what I'm doing now, and be like, wait a minute, that was him, or that's Mike, or that's this person and that person. and I appreciate their music a lot more than I did before. So, I mean, I think it's a win-win situation. Even though some people, I think what gets it is the greed portion of it. You know, I forget what artist it was, but they used a sample, and they got 100%. The artist, the original artist, got 100% of royalty.
Yep.
But the song was so dope,
Tracy doing.
He allowed it. You know what I'm saying? Because it still brought attention to the album.
Right.
Right. So even though this was a big hit for him, he lost out on that one. People were still able to get the album, and they were more interested in the album and seeing other things on it as well, as opposed to just that one song, that one single. Now, if you're a single-based artist, you might want to think about that. You just put out single. Yeah, it brought attention to the album, so he was cool with that.
Man, this has been dope. I love the fact that you can attack this interview in both sides of the coin. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm usually talking to a producer or a rapper, you know, like that, or maybe one and another, but one person who do both and know the intricate part of both.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I'm just one, like I said, if I'm interested in it, I gotta know everything about it. Mm-hmm. Right? Once I became interested in rapping and I'm seeing, you know, Ransom do his thing and the whole nine, I got so enthralled into listening to other rappers and studying and learning, you know, the older rappers before me, the newer rappers that are coming up. And I still do that. When it comes to the beats, same thing. You know, I think a lot of people are shocked when they find out that I'm such a Dilla fan. Like, I'm a fan of Dilla. I'm a fan of Nujabi's, Pete Rock, Primo, you know, Dr. Dre, of course, West Coast. I gotta give it up to him. DJ Quick as well. There's so many different people and genres of type of music or a type of hip hop that they make that makes them stand apart. Timberland, I've seen or found certain samples that he's used and realized he's a genius in the way that he uses certain samples. Like, there's certain songs that he has sampled that you would not guess that this was that. It don't even sound like what he put together. You know what I'm saying? He's a genius when it comes to that. Kanye was a genius with his samples. To a point to where instead of him rhyming now, because I really don't get into his bars these days, I would prefer him to go back to production the way he was doing it back in the days. I think he's a genius that way. Pete Rock is always going to be the god. Dilla is always going to be the god. You know what I'm saying? JD is super dope to me with things that he's done. So I think I take a little bit from all of those and put it into M.E.R.K. That's where my style comes from.
I love it. Well, there are people out there who seen this man on TikTok, and when you see him on TikTok, you see the side of his face and a big ass NPC on the other side.
That's
when you know you see that shit, that's M.E.R.K 1 you seeing.
Yep. And just to clarify, man, it's Native Instruments Machina is what I use.
Yeah.
The machine MK3. And yeah, you do. I do.
He come off the side.
I like that.
Come on. He come off the side. You see, when you see them boards right there, he gonna come from the other side. You ain't gonna get a full front. Nah, he gonna come from that motherfucking side.
Nah, and then if you see the smoke come before me, I'm cooking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That comes out, I'm cooking.
Yeah, so you guys go ahead and make sure you follow him on TikTok. See them videos I'm talking about while he's doing his thing. Make sure you also follow him on Instagram.
Yep.
As far as that, even on YouTube, because if he got music videos going on, or he wants to go ahead and do like a vlog and get more into, like, say, hey, tell us more about what happened after you threw up on that girl. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
he may tell you that answer on his YouTube. So make sure you guys go ahead and follow M.E.R.K 1. Show love to him.
Yep,
you know,
middle fingers all the way around. TikTok,
middle fingers,
Instagram, and YouTube.
Make sure y'all go ahead and do that. And for those people out there who know M.E.R.K, who came to watch this show because of M.E.R.K, they're like, fuck this nigga talking about. I'm coming to see what M.E.R.K talking about. For those people out there, I would really appreciate you go ahead and hit subscribe to this podcast on YouTube. This episode can only get bigger with your help.
Hey, I'll tell you what, I'll do you one even solid. To anybody that came here for me, for one, you already know I got love for you. I got love for this dude right here too. So definitely support your boy podcast. Get in with it. Subscribe, like. He's on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, all of that. Check him out, man. Like he put this podcast is dope. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't dope. You know what I mean? So yeah, so get with it.
Yeah. So you guys, I want to thank you for coming to the Support Cha Boi Podcast. I want to thank M.E.R.K for appearing on the Support Cha Boi Podcast. One more last question I ask everybody before you leave.
Yep.
M.E.R.K, is there a chance we can get you back on this podcast?
Shit, anytime, dog. You already know it. I got you.
Oh, yeah. Oh, what the wrong fit? I want to thank you guys for coming to Support Cha Boi Podcast. You guys have a nice one out there. Peace.